Hi guys, I'm Erik and welcome back to Canada Casino, your guide to online gambling. Today's video is quite a special one. If you happen to be one of our loyal viewers, you're well aware that we've covered poker and blackjack quite extensively on this channel. However, there is one more casino game in particular that we really haven't mentioned, and that is the game of craps. This is a good old classic casino dice game that can quickly get exciting as soon as you get into it. In this video though, I'll be teaching you how to specifically play online craps. So, how does online craps really work? Just click roll? Pray? Well, craps betting rounds always start with the come out roll. This is basically either the first roll of the dice or the first roll that takes place after the previous betting round has finished. The shooter is a player who is responsible for throwing the dice. A game of craps pretty much plays as follows. You, who's taking the role of the shooter, takes 2 dice and throws them on the craps table. Or in this case of online craps, you simply press the roll button on your device. Once the number rolled appears on your screen, you can face 3 different outcomes. The first, natural. This is when things start getting really interesting. A natural occurs when the result of your roll is either a 7 or an 11. If this happens, you'll automatically win and get to roll the dice once more. The second option, a craps. A craps happens when you roll a 2, which is also known as a snake eyes, a 3, or a 12. Alas, if you get these numbers, you're guaranteed a loss. However, the round would still not be over for you as you get to roll the dice again. And the third and final option, a point. A point is when you roll a 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, or 10. If this happens in a live casino, the dealer would mark your point on the table. Whereas if you're playing online craps games, a small white button saying on would automatically appear on your screen once the point is established. What you ought to do next is just roll the dice one more time and hope you'll be able to hit the same number again. It doesn't necessarily have to be the exact same combination of dice you hit before. As long as you manage to land the overall same sum, you win. It's that simple. Contrarily to popular belief, the number 7 is not so lucky in this game, as if you roll a 7, you suck 7 out, lose, and end the betting round there and then. Once you have an idea of how this part of the game works, you can move straight on to the betting options. Now that you're fully aware of how to shoot craps and evaluate the result of your roll, let's take a look at how to actually bet in an online game of craps. If you take a close look at the craps table, you should see that it doesn't only consist of dice and numbers. The layout of it has a handful of areas designed for different betting options. Firstly, what you have to do is either bet on the pass line or the don't pass line. The pass line bet means that you're betting on the fact that the shooter will pass and win by rolling out a natural or by winning their point before hitting a 7 out. On the other hand, the don't pass line bet corresponds to the opposite bet. Here you bet on the fact that the shooter will fail to pass and lose. Now, this happens if the player shoots and gets a 2, a 3, or fails to roll the point before that ugly 7 appears on the dice's head. And then there's a 12. If it's rolled at that point, your bet turns into a push, meaning that absolutely nothing could happen to you during that round. You simply don't win nor lose. It's a draw. Now keep in mind, you can only make these bets before the point has been established on the table. As soon as the point is rolled out and the shooter rolls the sum again, you can move forward to making a come or don't come bet. These specific bets can only be made after the point has been officially determined. The come bet wins if a natural is rolled out, whereas it loses if the craps are. In a case that the point is rolled out, the bet turns into a come bet point. This bet works just like the pass line bet. When the come bet point rolls out again before the 7 does, you get to win. However, if it does not, mark this as being not one of your lucky days. A don't come bet is practically identical to the don't pass bet. Consider yourself lucky if the shooter ends up rolling a 2 or a 3, but if they roll a 7 or 11, consider yourself unfortunate. With regards to landing on a 12, it's classified as a push once more. As the point is made, hope greatly for a 7 before the shooter rolls a point again. Right. Oh, this is getting really confusing now. I don't know if I like, just gonna stick to Yahtzee. Keep in mind that neither a pass or a come bet can be turned off in a game. Bet and patiently wait until it plays itself out, as it'll eventually do. But in the meantime, if you wish, you can make additional bets on the come bet point. These you can withhold and increase them at any time you want. So let's move forward to proposition bets and craps. These are basically one roll bets that you can place on any roll. However, they have one exception, which I'll be going over very soon. For the time being, I'll be going over which kind of plays can be considered a win. If the shooter rolls a 7, if the shooter rolls any craps, so a 2, 3, or 12, an ace deuce if the shooter rolls a 3, aces if the shooter rolls 2, boxcars if the shooter rolls a 12, or horn if the shooter rolls a 2, 3, 11, or 12. Now with regards to the exception that I mentioned earlier, it's called hard ways. Some other bet possibilities which you can play include place bets, field bets, big 5 bets, and big 8 bets. A place bet works as follows. Once you know the point in your match, you can bet at any number found in the table. If the number of your choice is rolled out before a 7, you win. If not, you lose. A field bet is a little different from the other bets, as it's only active for one dice roll. If you roll a 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, or 12, you win. But if you roll a 5, 6, 7, or 8, you're at a loss. As for a big sex, one big sex bet please. As for a big 6 or a big 8 bet, these are quite straightforward. The 6 and 8 rolls are what you want to get before a 7 is rolled. And if you do so, you win. The thing that all these bets have in common is they all pay out 1-to-1. That's cool. I had no idea about any of that. That was fucking cool. I might play craps. Hopefully with this little but very useful information I gave you, you now know how to play online craps and you're all set for hitting the virtual tables, throwing some virtual dice, and winning some real cash. Thanks for sticking with me till the end of the video, and please feel free to drop a comment down below as I do read them all. Make sure to let us know how you feel about craps, and maybe other topics you'd like us to cover in the future. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and definitely subscribe for more gambling content coming soon. This was Canada Casino, and I'll see you guys next time.